Here he comes. It's Enigma. It's Enigma. Here he comes. It's Enigma. It's Enigma. It's Enigma. It's Enigma. Here he comes. It's Enigma. It's Enigma.
Well, hello there. This is an unexpected thing. I wasn't sure whether I was even going to manage to stream today. But hello, hi, hello. How's it going? We're doing something a bit. So last time I streamed, we were doing a little tour around the world of Randomia, and I was saying, oh, I've got lots of things that I need to work on. You may remember if you were here last time, or maybe you weren't. If you weren't, then that's all I said last time, I promise. Shh, everybody. Nobody tell them about the super secret awesome things I was teaching you. But I decided that, yeah, I was going to work on the upper district. So this is the start of the upper district. We are in a little build world I've put together. This is my block palette that I showed on the last stream, but we didn't utilize at all. We may utilize that today. We may not. I'm not too sure. We have this. So this week I've been making this water wheel, right? And on the actual server, it has meant that I'm going to have to put a river in, which will flow down through Waterside and out into the ocean in between where my area is and where 𝗕𝗢𝗫𝗛𝗚's port is. But I've been figuring out what all of up here is going to have. So what I figured I'm going to be doing is over like the next, I don't know how many streams it will take, and I'll get onto the reason as to why I'm not too sure how many streams it would take. Normally I would maybe do like 3, 4, like one of the, like these 4 builds here, I call these like, that's a cell. And then these builds here would be a cell, that build there. Basically in between all the grass, like in between the paths, I'd class as a cell. So those two, and so on. But I wasn't sure what any of them were originally going to be, so I've gone through, and if I look at the right side, so this is going to be a jeweler's. We've got a 𝗕𝗢𝗘𝗖𝗓𝗏 tea room here. That should have a space in there. Ignore my typos. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I speak English fluently. This will be a swank curiosity shop. This here, I think, is a security checkpoint. We have a telegraph exchange. Eventually, so there's some wool dotted around all around the edge, and I have these telegraph pole designs, and I want to put those going all the way around wherever there's these dots. And then we'll on that design I've got chains, but within Random Craft we have a thing called 𝗘𝗡𝗜𝗚𝗏. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. All right, I've not slept that much. I think it's called 𝗘𝗡𝗜𝗏. So we can actually have like these really nice, fun sort of bits sticking across. And each of these builds is going to take. I was hoping it would either be like dependent on the build, either like this Ministry of Industry would probably be one like just a stream on its own. Originally, though, this water wheel wasn't even an idea, and then it sort of became an idea. So then I started doing this water wheel. So you can see here, like there was a build here. This was going to be another security checkpoint. This was going to be a monk's house, like a almost like a convent-y type thing for the Ministry of Approved Religion. But then I was like, oh, it'd be really nice to have a water wheel. So I started doing this water wheel, which I've done. I'm happy with it. It's nice and all. And then I was like, oh, the water wheel should obviously be pushing water. You know, makes sense. That's your boy's logic coming in right there. That's what that is. So I was like, right, well, it can't go over the top, because obviously, how's the water getting up here? I'd have to put in like a channel going across. Oh, hi! This man is alive. I am alive. Just. How's it going? Cocoa pudding. I do apologize. I struggle to read. I'm inept. So I didn't want to put like a channel in going across, because one, that would mess up the vibe of the town when it's done, and two, it would have to run at about this height for it to drop down to push the water wheel. So I was like, right, okay, we'll do an undershot water wheel. They're not technically as efficient undershot water wheels. I'm not going to bore you with all the details of different types of water wheels. We'll do an undershot. So I was like, right, so it's going to go under. Well, where's the water coming from? This was the problem. So I basically, I started doing this. I got distracted by a water wheel. I was doing the water wheel and I was like, well, where's the water coming from? Where's all this water coming from? So then I got distracted by making an entire sewer system underneath the town. So this is what I've been working on this week. And I've been trying to figure out, actually, look, the atmosphere in here is lovely. It's nice and dark, but I do have a little button over here that I'm going to go and push because it allows me, it gets like permanent night vision. I don't have a full bright mod on. There's a reason for that. I forgot. No, I didn't. Basically, to put one on that had it. Okay, but here we go. Look, we have full bright at home. It's an eternal night vision potion. This 2 years holds your growth so much. Yeah, I'd like. So the reason that I've been away for a while is I basically I think it was mid 2024. I had a heart problem, so the doctors said, hey, you have heart arrhythmia, don't get stressed, like you need to take it easy. And I was like, oh, like I can sort of take it easy. I'll take it nice, easy breezy, it'll be great. And then my wife came home literally about 3 weeks later and let me know that she was pregnant. To which, and I quote, my response was, the doctor told me I'm supposed to not get stressed. So I did a couple of little bits here and there, but mostly have been away doing dad things. But the baby is now a toddler. She is now 18 months old, and she is happy to play, and she doesn't need constant safeguarding from a big scary dad as much when she's inside the house. When we go outside, she does. So this sewer, I was like, all right, well, obviously we want to make it grimy. So I've been playing around with basically different blocks on what they can be. I'm just going to come down here because this is the best way to, I think this is the best way to do it. So obviously these are our, I don't want to say pooey textures, but these are the pooey textures for the inside floor. We've got some stuff up here for hanging, and then particularly the sulfur, these new sulfur blocks. I was like, oh, we can make fatbergs for inside the sewer. Now I know that's gross. I'm aware that that's not like I'm aware that's gross, but hey, like once you get into a sewer and you see this, you immediately like, oh, I get it. So this is what we're using for fat stuff. And then obviously buttons for our larger poop. And then leaf litter inside the sewer to make it look like there's like poo staining on the floor. Like just, so it adds to the grime. All right, that's the idea. It's supposed to feel dirty in there. So that's what we've been doing. We've got like a bunch of stuff in here to kind of make it as grubby as we can, and we have some like fatberg stuff up here. This one's coming out of one of the pipes. Got some piles of stuff. There's also some garbage down here. If I could add rats in, I would add rats in, but alas, we don't. A lot of these pipes don't really go anywhere at the moment. Eventually they will get hooked up to buildings above, because I had this really fun idea. Not in every build, because I think that would be excessive, but certainly in some buildings I want there to be like flushable toilets that when you stand on the toilet block and push like the flush button, it drops you down into the sewer, so you can like go through the sewers. So that's something that we're gonna do at some point. I also want to do some more of these. Hey, thanks. So I want to add a few more of these in. So this is like an intermittent, like it does it intermittently. So it's almost like a toilet is being flushed somewhere and then it comes through. So that's what this one does in front of me. So there we go. Every sort of 10-15 seconds, I'm not too sure. I haven't like been like, oh, let's perfect the timings. That seems unnecessary. It sort of opens up water comes out. There we go. And then it goes back away again. And I want to do a few of those probably through here. The sewer is, if I open up my map, here we go. So the sewer at the moment is basically, it's this O shape, and then there's a slightly higher C shape. Ignore this. We'll get to this little weird thing in the middle here in a second. So this is what I've been doing this past week. I've missed texture in one of these top support bars. I think over here next to the front entrance. Oh yeah, this yeah. All right, not one. I missed 1, 2, 3. I missed 4. I was 25% accurate. So this one here is the higher piece. It goes around. This is the U-shaped one. But eventually all of this will get hooked up to the buildings up here. And then yesterday I was talking to 𝗟𝗔𝗡𝗗𝗏. And 𝗟𝗔𝗡𝗏 was like, hey, yo, you should put some turtles in here as like a little nod to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I was like, 𝗟𝗔𝗡𝗏, you're a great guy. You're going to do great. I'm gonna do something similar. So if you go down, a couple of these pipes are open. So if you go down this one here, eventually, it's only sort of temporarily. I'm gonna do like an Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Easter egg down here. So anybody that comes down here kind of gets this little bit. So I've got some signs. Ignore that should put, that's an arcade machine. That's supposed to be, I think a bin is there. I don't remember what was there. I was looking at a bunch of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle things. The TV there's some stuff up there. That where that chain is supposed to be a lamp. There is some stuff against this back wall somewhere as well. What was that cobweb indicating to me? Oh, boxes. Yeah, there was some like cardboard boxes dotted around as well. So eventually we're gonna do that. But that's not something we're gonna do on stream. I don't think. Maybe. But one of the things that I want to do today, so I started adding in my rusty sort of surround. Let's just push this button to clear out my effects. We will work in the sewer a little bit more. But one of the other things I want to do is like, I have this rusty sort of metal thing that I do. And it's a lot of fun to do. And I was like, oh, well, that probably would be like where water is. But then I remembered that I'm relatively, so on Random Craft, the ocean is over here, curving around. And anybody that's been near, like a ocean front, will be aware that corrosion's a thing that occurs quite a lot, because salt air is just a menace for metal. So I may rust up a bunch of this a little bit. So I'm thinking it would be more rusty on this side than it would. Let's increase my speed a little bit here. It'd be more rusty on that side than it would be over here away from the ocean. So I kind of need to create like a gradient where it's like more on one side, less on the other. So that's something that I would like to do. Again, not sure whether we'll do that today or whether that's something I'll work on during the week. In terms of like the block palette for this, because I'm trying to ensure that every stream that I do, I share a little bit of information on like whether like last, was it last week I did a stream or the week before? I believe it was last week. But last week, we'll just say last week. Last week, we, and when I say we, that's the proverbial we, I mean me. I showed how to do roads, how to calculate road curvature, like a pro, really easy, without needing any of these fancy pants things like World Edit or Axiom or any of that. Like how to really build a road, like in any version of Minecraft. So that was what we did last week. That was the little tidbit of information that I gave last week. But I sort of said that in each sort of thing, I'll try and show or teach something. So I've got this block palette over here. This is the block palette for doing that up there. Basically have andesite stone, and then light gray terracotta, then regular terracotta, and then stripped acacia wood. I know what you're thinking. Your brain is thinking, why not use copper? Copper is already copper colored. Why use acacia? I like acacia. Acacia's nice and easy to farm. That's not the actual reason though. The actual reason is rust is oxidized metal. It's not shiny. Copper in game has a shininess to it, and when you put shaders on, even more shiny. And rust shouldn't be shiny, okay? It shouldn't be a shiny thing. This works with shaders on because quite often if you have PBR on, integrated PBR, which a lot of shaders do nowadays, andesite has like almost like a speckled sort of brightness to it. Stone, less. Terracotta is matte, and obviously so is stripped acacia. So I tend to use this as my palette and not copper, because if I see shiny corrosion, that upsets me. So normally what I'd do, we could cheat a little bit by just using the wand, and let's also turn off ghost. So I don't really need to do that right now. So if we just grab that there, and then come down here, go up in the air to about there. Probably don't need to go up that high. I don't intend on making this entire thing. Pause 2, and then we'll just do /set stone. There we go. So we have a stone wall. This is our wall of stone. So normally what I do is I obviously get your block palette. So we'll just grab these all the way through to there. Is you figure out where the rust will be. So like over here, you can see it's darker on this edge. It's darker at the top, and behind the waterfall where spray would be coming off. You have to figure out where rust lays. It tends to sit in indentations more than anything else. It also tends to work from top down, not from bottom up, unless it's against the ground where groundwater would be. So yeah, think about, it's not just a case of slapping blocks in wherever. Have a think about where things actually are. That's one of the, actually, do you know what? That's a pro tip just in general. I see a lot of builders, especially nowadays, using things like Axiom, just slap a texture down using Axiom's tools and then go, bam, we're done. Let's move on. It's good for your base thing, don't get me wrong, but once you're done, go in and actually figure out where your highs and lows are. It's fine if you use Axiom to paint that. Just try and figure out where your highs and your lows are within your build, and figure out like, oh, well, it's going to get darker in there, it's going to get lighter here and stuff. Play around with the contrast of the build. So let's just start up here. Normally what I would do is I pick an area, like we could start at the corner, but I'm not going to. I'm going to start right here. And we start putting in like a seed. Seed sounds weird. It will make sense. So pop that in like that. We'll put a little gap on this one here, and we'll do the same here. Yeah, put 2 in there. Gap of 3 or 4 across. There is no exact, so rust. Obviously, rust is essentially, it's an organic. When you're doing like 𝗖𝗛𝗘𝗖𝗞 or Dieselpunk or any of the punks, there's many punks out there. Trees aren't really a thing you get to do that much of, as much as if you're doing like fantasy medieval. There's still opportunity there. So your thing for organics is seemingly quite limited, but there's a lot of things that are organic within these types of bits. Like doing rust is technically organic. It's oxidization, but it is essentially an organic. Get there we go. So start with your seed. That's basically, so that's like the darkest bit. I'm actually gonna, I said I wasn't gonna do this corner, but you know what? I absolutely am. So you start off with your seed. That's basically your darker rust color. You figure that out, get that in, you're like, bam, done. And then in the opposing sections, you figure out where your light needs to be. So let's just, put in our lights. And the upside to doing this technique, there might be a way, but I genuinely don't think there is you cannot cheat this effect properly at all. You can't just use Axiom and slap it together, or world edit and slap it together. If you see this technique and somebody else does this in future and you end up spying it or whatever, yeah, they've actually thought about it. They've put it in by hand, unless someone like Mulberry actually creates a tool for it, which I'm not against because it would save some time, but I do like the artistry of trying to figure these things out. Okay, then we have our lighter bit. You see how it like corresponds, and we don't want it to 100% correspond like this. We do want some, I call them erratics. I won't explain why, because genuinely it's really nerdy and really boring, but I tend to call them erratics. So like here, there might be one. There might be one. And some of these might get knocked back out again. It's why I tend to do these in creative at first, because it's not an exact science. So once I've got that, like, basically move on to your next block. So we have our terracotta, and then we move on to our next one after that. So I normally mix it up between 2 and 1 on each of these. So 2 there, we'll do 1 there and 2 here. 1 there, 1 there. We'll do 2 there and 2 there, 2 there. 1 on that one. There we go. As you can see, this bit I don't think about too much on that section, because there's not really a need to. You kind of want it to feel random, because again, it's an organic. There isn't a mathematical formula for the most part for organics. And then you just go in with your next color, and we get these sort of painted in. You're basically just creating like rust pixel art. Oh, that one should have at least one underneath it. And again, these tend to shift up between 1 and 2. There we go. So then when we come back over here, we have this nice rusting metal look. And then normally, like, it's fun to do these in panels. So like, if I think on my airship, which isn't on this build world naturally, so if I was to remove like this run here from there, and then I was to get some like deep slate wallage, and we put those in between, we then have this sort of like big steel panel looking thing where it looks like they're rusting up. And then obviously, wherever there's edges, you get like rust seepage that sometimes comes in. So these bits might end up with a little bit of rust on. And then you just seed that out as well. So you just pop this in like meow. Same here. There we go. So then we get our rust building up. It's a pretty simple thing to kind of do. I was having this as a conversation with 𝗕𝗢𝗘𝗖𝗓 actually over this past week. One of the things that 𝗕𝗢𝗘𝗓 was saying whilst looking at builds of mine and 𝗕𝗢𝗘s and a few other builders as well was, when you actually look at it, it's not that difficult. And it's not. Like, a lot of things that we do implement within building, then really not as complicated as what it looks in, like, the final thing. Because, like, once this is there, and we start adding in layered things on top, like greeblies and different asset things, like if that had antennas on it coming out of the wall, and, you know, you punch, let's say, like, these ones out, and you put, like, some starey boys in, Get some concrete. Get some fans. Not fans. I call them fans because I use them so often as fans. Some of those. You just, make that little frame around the back. So 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. I've got a tutorial on this in the 𝗖𝗛𝗘𝗖𝗞 pack video. If anybody ever gets confused. Hey, Cocoa Pudding, you have a nice night. Hey, Magic, how's it going? It's like that there, and then that there. And we just come out and we put these in like this. There we go. So once you've got, like, you start adding in all of that stuff and your wear and tear and little like, these are called greeblies. That's a model building term. Wow, that was hard to say for my brain. You start to lose, like, how simple some of the bits are. It's just layered simplicity. So don't be afraid to try things out. Don't, like, it's not that difficult. You just have to learn the thing. Thanks, Cocoa Bun. You have a nice night. So that's basically what we're doing on this build, is this technique. When did I originally come up with this? I don't remember. But I think the first time I implemented it in Random Craft was for the 𝗕𝗢𝗫𝗛𝗚 airship in Season 3. I might have used it a little bit in Season 2 when I built the place at the sci-fi lab in the swamp. I don't remember. But that is basically what all of this is. So we want to get a lot of that stuff in here and there. Stairs become a little bit risky because we do not have terracotts as stairs. So trying to get that blend in will be trickier. So I might need to figure out a block palette that is similar for that bit. Hey, Magic, how's it going? Are you good? Hopefully you're good. So I might not tackle that on this stream purely because, yeah, I'm not too sure what the block palette will be to get those stairs to have the same texture as that. I don't normally do texturing. I've not done this type of texturing on stairs. So, yeah. Yes. we may come back to that. Right. Okay, let's go back into the sewers. Let's push our button there. Let's also get maybe our yeah, we should probably grab at least a couple of the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 blocks and some of these. Okay, so let's go. Oh yeah, okay, I do need to turn Ghost back on now. There we go. Okay, so now that we can see inside here again. So one of the things that I need just passing by before sleeping. Oh yeah, because it'd be what, 2 a.m. where you are? I think 2 a.m. in Magic Land, which is now the official name for the Philippines. We should petition it to be changed. Also, I apologize, everyone. I'm trying to not sniffle, but it's hard. I have a little bit of a flu, not much, just a tiny little head cold. So I am like eating sore throat mint. Why does this one have cheese? It's fatbergs. So in a lot of sewers, like, because people pour fat down the drain, it congeals, and you get these things called fatbergs, and they can be massive. In fact, as gross as it is, what's the biggest fatberg? The biggest fatberg was 130 tons. It was 250 meters or 820 feet big in a sewer. They get really big and nasty, like really, really horrible. I didn't want to clog up. Like, I technically, like, one that size would like fill up like an entire run. I didn't want to do something like that because I want down here to be navigable. That's a word, right? Navigable. It doesn't sound like a word the more I say it. Maybe it's not a word. But we've got like some like trash bags down here. I actually, Magic, whilst you're here, I actually have a job for you. Once this goes onto the server, down this little tunnel that just here. I've not finished doing the design thing yet. I'm making a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles layer, and I just want the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sat on this chair. I could do it myself, but you would do a much better job. Yeah, this goes nowhere at the moment. Oh, this is a fun thing I haven't shown yet. This here, it's obviously, this is quite high up. We could fly up into the upper district. But instead I've made this thing. I can't remember who originally came up with this. Block something. I will, when I show this in Random Craft properly, I will ensure that I do cite his channel because it is pretty cool. But come in here and push this button and it's like an instant elevator. Like, just straight away we're at the top. And that's super awesome. I really like this. It works by, like, it alternates, so like there's walls on this side and there's slabs on this side, so when you push it, it just default want to push you up. I added this at the top so that when you actually get to the top, it pushes you out, because otherwise they go back in, you just fall back down. So I have this little block pusher to push you out so you stay safe. But that's that. So none of these, all of these sewer bits will eventually be finished and be hooked up to the buildings. But for now, what we kind of need to do is figure out where all the nasty stuff needs to go. So we have, like, obviously cobwebs and things. There's 2 fatbergs already on this side, so I feel like this side needs them. Maybe we could do on this one, like a fatberg coming out, and we could like messy up all this. That might be a fun. You don't need all of these sewer bits to be accessible. Just a lot of them. Something dark side, something. Right, do that. And then I want to do the top one. Oh, we could do top and bottom. I think if we do that though, that wants to be like, yeah, that wants to be like that. And then when we get to here, sort of pile it out. I do have to be careful a little bit of these sea pickles, because I didn't mean to do that. I'm using them to get enough light down here that stuff doesn't spawn. It's already pretty tricky because on Random Craft, this entire sewer is essentially just a bat rave. Like, there's so many bats down here, which is, yeah, a little bit upsetting, but there's not much I can do about that. I could make a bat box. A bat box is still a thing, actually. I don't actually know whether you can still do bat boxes. I assume you can. I assume you still can do bat boxes. You know, where the thing to stop bats spawning anywhere on your server. Because they are very irritating things, bats. And we should maybe put one of those underneath, just a little bit of texturing. I feel like this stair wants to go as well. Yeah. Although if we're doing that, yeah, that's good. Yeah, part of the whole thing here is just trying to make it look as dirty as possible down here. As I said in my last stream that I did, like, I know that, like, it's not that this isn't child friendly at all. This is perfectly fine. But it's a bit gross, right? You know, with the, fecal stains on the floor and all the rest of it. But I want to make like a pretty good accurate representation of a sewer. I don't want, like, a sewer shouldn't be like this sterile place. I've seen like a few examples of other people's sewers. Whilst I was like looking up doing a sewer, I was like, sewer. Let's look at what there is already in existence. Try and avoid any sort of trope that I see. And the largest one seemed to be that a lot of the sewers looked really clean. Like a bunch of them don't even have like this sort of mossing weather, like where water, it's like it's a dark, damp, warm, wet, horrible place. Normally with a fair amount of carbon dioxide, good amount of carbon monoxide, and other like volatile organic compounds. It's pretty much a breeding ground for moss down there and stalactites. Yeah, I don't know why. So many people were just doing like really, really sterile ones. So I was wanting to avoid that. We may be going too far, but that is essentially how the channel works. We see something and then we go too far with it. That's how we do things here around here. So that's what we're basically what we're doing. We're just gonna try and get it as grubby and nasty. Actually, I might put a padlock in the middle there, kind of make it, yeah, look a bit like old grubby. Hey, wicked fireflies, how's it going? Hello. What have I missed? We're making a sewer underneath what will eventually be up here a Dieselpunk upper class town. So this eventually will be a little Dieselpunk town. We have their sewerage basically pumps this water wheel, this undershot water wheel, which is going to flow down into a river where the rest of the people live. And powering the water wheel is the sewer, which is currently what we're working on at this moment in time. I don't like that. You know, see that there? That's what we call repetition. So we may need to alter this. I don't want it to be sort of like one then straight, you know, really close after another. We will figure out something to go around this area. Maybe on this one. Actually, we are lacking pipes, aren't we? Yeah. Look, we could put maybe on this one. Well, either this one or this one. Looking down. Yeah, we'll do it on this one. So right there. Right there, we're going to do a pipe. Right there. We have decided there is going to be pipe. So I need some trap door. There we go. Put those there, that there, and that there. We'll put this one on another timer, I think, as well, as opposed to having the vent bit in there. So let's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, because we don't want to go too far with it. Where have I put that block? That's the only downside to Axiom's ghost bit, is that I sometimes put things in the wrong place. I'm still getting used to it, okay? There we go. And then let's just remove that a second. I'm going to put the dispenser in there. So this is one of the things that I've been doing. I did it on that one. We're going to do a couple more, is like a timed sewer outlet so that it's not just constantly pumping liquid out. We just get occasional, which we can do by doing that. And then we will grab our stone because it's going to be easier to rebuild using stone on Random Craft than eating too tough. Actually, do you know what? Yeah. We can actually use the same timer in here for a couple. That's what I should have done, actually, because there's a bunch of dead space. I should have made some, like, seeds of these, like, just a couple of different clocks, and then I could have just hooked them all up to that, so there wasn't, like, tons of clocks running, but a couple. That would have been smart. I didn't do that. Naturally, I did not do that, because it would have been smart. We don't do smart things around here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go one further out. Okay, so we need hoppers. We need pistons. We need some blocks, which we have anyway. Some comparators and some redstone. Oh, we also do need a redstone block. That is a fair shout. Thanks, Minecraft, for letting me remember. Okay, so just pop just lower my flight speed back down. There we go. And then those. In case anybody gets confused as to what I'm doing, I don't think anybody does nowadays. I'm pretty sure everybody knows what this is. It's a hopper clock. Should I time this on? More than 16. I think we'll go with a 21. Go there. Put a repeater in. Don't really need one, but I tend to like using them. There we are. Do need to remove those. Water. Wait for that to stop. Hopefully it does stop. It should. There we go. We just fill that in there. There we go. So we now have another intermittent little sewer pipe, which is going to be nice to have. Add something in on that wall that's not more of these. There we go. Lovely. One of the other things that I'm curious to sort of try and figure out for down here. Obviously, on Random Craft we have 𝗕𝗄𝗎𝗔𝗗. I always get confused. You know, normally I'm fine. I think it is the audio player thing for simple voice chat, and I've used that a lot in places because if you remember, if you cast your mind back nearly 4 years ago, or yeah, it was three years ago now, 2023, and I actually had another conversation with Shalon about this week, because it's become a trend now, apparently. I wasn't made aware of it. I've been away for a while. I said very early on in season 3, so yeah, like I said, 2023, that one of the things I really hate with Minecraft is the sterility of it, how sterile a lot of builds are, and trying to get things like these pipes in. And if you remember in Waterside, in the alleyway, I put like a zombie piglin portal farm underneath with a water funnel going up into the alley that opened up at night. So when it gets to nighttime, it looks like the alley fills with thugs, and then integrating farms within builds, and then making like interactive shops and stuff. And if you remember, 3 years ago, I said that I was going to label that as what Buildstone is, was adding in redstone mechanics and Minecraft mechanics into builds to make them feel more lived in. Apparently that's just now a thing. Apparently that's just now a thing. And the worst part is it's credited to somebody else who did it 2 years later. This is why I shouldn't take brains. But that's what Minecraft's like. You know, it's about that build up. And we want to do more of them. We want to do more stuff like this. Audio player. I kind of want to get like sound for down here. So like when you're down here, there's the sounds of a sewer. So maybe like I've got like the bubble bits in. You can hear like there's like bubbling sounds and things. I figured that'd be nice. But eventually we want to put some like pipe work in as well. Like real sewers often have some pipe work services running along them. So I think doing that would be kind of fun to do. I'm just not sure. I'm not sure what to use as the pipes. My instinct is to use lightning rods. To do it, I should use the wax ones. So to like put in. I do think that works nice and well. So we might do some of that. I'm not too sure whether I'm going to use lightning rods or there's not really. I mean, there's chains, but chains don't make good. Because you know they're slightly see-through. So that wouldn't work for our pipes. A whole block is too thick. Definitely a whole block is too thick. So that's something that I need to figure out. My brain is saying we could go nuts and just do some sort of weird armor stand thing, but I feel like that's a cheap get out of jail free card. I'd rather it be vanilla ice cream. Yeah, I think it has to be lightning rod. I think that's basically just what we have to work with. End rod is good, but the problem with end rods is they glow to absolute buggery. So I don't think that's going to work. Yeah, it does. It has to be. It has to be end rod. It has to be lightning rods. Yeah, it does. It just has to be. Fair. We'll probably put some of those in as well at some point. All right, let's go back down here. Let's continue working on this. We have that's now in and working. Ignore how bright it is down here. I do have, as you can see in the top right corner, I do have permanent night vision. It's very dark down here. The only light comes from these sea pickles. Not just those ones, there's others. They're just the whole sewer's lit by just these two pickles. No, there's sea pickles now and then. And it's getting lit by those. I was using glow lichen down here. But one of the issues with glow lichen, to be fair, I'm sort of having it with the pickles as well, is a lot of shaders really go absolutely tits with emissives on glow lichen, and it just looks it looks like Christmas lights, which works in some places. Like on Silver has like a hotel, and he's got them wrapped around some pillars, and I actually really like the look of it there. Being a sewer, it doesn't make much sense. So I do need to sort of maybe figure out a better lighting thing, because the pickles, if we do put shaders on, I don't think I have the problem with BSL so much. Actually, I think I do. Now I say that. Oh yeah, I have a slash effect clear. Oh no, I don't. I don't with my BSL shaders. This is what the actual sewer looks like with BSL on. I tend, one of the things the monsters in the sewer like it way down deep in the darkness, in a tiny little house on a tiny little street, lived the funny bones. There's this thing of like, when you're building, don't just build with shaders on. Even if your PC can handle it, like my PC is fine, can handle all this perfectly fine and stuff. Don't just build with shaders on, because sometimes people don't play with shaders, or they play with different shades. Like, look at the difference between how this sewer looks with BSL and how it looks with complementary Unbound. If we get to complementary Unbound, there we go. Very, very different look. Yeah, see, this is the issue that I have with the sea pickles. Glowy little buggers. It's still nice. I don't like the sort of emissiveness of the top of the spickle. But yeah, with these shaders, and again, I've got a bunch on here like Astral Core. If I switch to those, I think these are the super dark ones. It's either that or Bliss. All right, no, yeah, it's this one. This is like super dark, like can't see anything. Rethinking voxels again, it has a completely different vibe to it. So if you're building with just shaders on, I do like the sort of the water ripple stuff of Rethinking voxels though. You get really nice. But if you're building with just shaders on, and you don't turn them off, you don't toggle in them or do anything like that with them, yeah, it could have a very different look to somebody else. So I tend to switch between, but pickles with certain shaders, yeah, it just doesn't look as good. So I need to find a better way of handling that as well. Okay, enough gibber gabber jibber jabber. Let's go get our effect back. So lightning rod, I think, for the pipe work. I think that's a pretty solid idea. We could do some slabs as like ducting, but why would there be ducting in a sewer? Somebody suggested this week, they were like, oh, you could put some ducting in. That's always like a really nice way of like getting that extra touch, right? It's like, yeah, but who's running AC ducts through a stinky sewer? And why would you do that? Like, who would do that? And then not only who, but why? So yeah, maybe just service pipes. And we might do some coming out of the floor, indicating that there's potentially another level underneath, or that they need to run something deeper. Who knows? So we have this one's pumping out a bunch of I should probably fill this. Ventilation for gases is a pretty solid move. I do like the idea of ventilation for gases being put in, like do that like in one of these bits. I don't have too much room above to play with, depending on where we are. We will have to be pretty selective with where we put those vents. Like, I think I can get away, yeah, I can get away with it over here. Over here, I can get away with doing it, probably, but not so much at this end. Because we are quite close to the surface. And that's just because we're on this, you know, platform thing, so we really don't have a ton of room. But yeah, that's actually a pretty solid move. I like that. I like the idea of vents. I'm at the wrong end. Need to be over here. There we go. I do want to put another one of these blockages in. Blockages, quote unquote, heavy air quotes, blockages. Although I think, let me see. If fatberg there. I feel like it would probably be here. Because, like, if the water's flowing this way, but the fat has clogged this up, there would be... There would be... I'm just going to say it. Sorry, chat. I do apologize. There would be a build-up of fecal matter on this side, is what my brain's repeatedly saying to me. There would be a build-up of fecal matter on this side. Don't worry, it's not all going to stay mud. I'm just trying to figure out a rough shape. Wouldn't be that high, that's for sure. Did I use... I did not. Okay. Oh, I do want that button, though. And dead rats. Yeah, rats is a thing that really upsets me because I've never thought about how much I wanted rats in Minecraft up until I started doing this, and I was like, oh, damn, I really want rats in the game. How upsetting. So that would help a lot. Just having some rat boys down here, up to no good. But yeah, I'm trying to work within the remit. I did think silverfish, and then I remembered that silverfish can infest pretty much all of these blocks, and I'll have no sewer left. So not silverfish. Although I think isn't there a thing with the new potion, like I say new, it's been out for ages, just I've been gone. The infestation thing, isn't there like a bit for silverfish to not infest stone? Like you can just have the silverfish and they can't go into any blocks. I might have to put that, because it would be nice, because in the darkness of the sewer, silverfish would kind of seem like rats. Grey rats, but they would seem like rats. So that would be kind of nice to have, but not if they destroy every single block that's in here. Not that I know of. Yeah, see, the reason I say that, I'm gonna stay in admin mode. Who is on the random craft? It shall. Don't know where I am. This is what we're working on, but working on it in single player. Oh my god. Jesus Christ, that scared the absolute Christ out of me. Oh, it's my build, and it got me. That's the first time it's actually got me. A couple of the other randoms have been like, that scared me. Oh Christ, that nearly gave me a goddamn heart attack. So this is my Entech redstone build. It has like a working clock for the time of day, and then it actually goes to these. So like when it gets to midnight and 6, it put that there. It chimes. Oh my god. Sorry, I'm just going to need a moment. That genuinely scared the crap out of me. I was not expecting that. It doesn't help. I turned my audio player up yesterday because I put on sound physics, and it made Sin House, the nightclub that I made, sound muffled. And I was like, oh, I'll turn it up and see if it combats it, because I do have it turned really low. So I turned it, so that was so loud for me. Hopefully it was slightly quieter for everybody else. Oh, okay. Oh, where am I? Who am I? It's in this tunnel, right? No, it's not. It's in the tunnel over here. Let me... What did I miss here? What about black or brown baby rabbits as rats. Or fix up a model data pack. So data packs I'm not fantastic with. I do try and if I can find a way of doing it in a vanilla way. Okay, ignore all the R-bots. They're not R-bots, they're allies. Where is his... Oh my god, it's so loud in Silver Space. Holy crap. Let's just let's just do that. I do think it's here, right? Yeah. So Silver has this. This is a silverfish farm for XP that he has. Silver's base is so loud. Technically, it's just a storage area, but yeah, it's super loud. I might have to do a test with that. Because I think the ones that spawn... It is so loud, yeah. I think the ones that do spawn from... let's go outside a second. Because I do... If I can get the silverfish thing to do it, that would be cool. Slash game rule... something to do with mob spawning. To enable mob... Something to do with mobs. They constantly change it. It used to be allow mob spawning, I think. Spawn monsters. True. Make sure my difficulty is correct as well. Okay, already is set to hard. So what I'm building here is the easiest. I will line this with stone as well, because that's kind of what we're going to test. Is the easiest chunk loader for a single player. Doesn't really work for multiplayer, but it does for single. Oh, sorry, I said chunk loader. Mob switch. I do apologize. My brain skipped over the fact that it has to be chunk loaded. That's what I was thinking. La 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 la. Brain don't want to work. Hot. And I should have put it one further down than that. That could be iron bars, but might better be an iron bars. Whoops, did not mean to do that. Normally I just build much. You live there now, friend. I do apologize. I know I infest him, and then I can't remember what I do from there. Damage. Ah. I do think I just hit him. I don't remember what I do. Oh! I know what it was. I messed up. That's supposed to be a campfire. And then a shot. That hurt to move time. See if I can get that. No, he's gonna. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to kill you now, Mr. Iron Golem, and I do apologize. But it's not my fault. Actually, no, it absolutely is my fault thinking about it, but still. Oh, I think I made the channel too narrow. I think it was supposed to be 5 by 5, not 3 by 3. Oh, well, he's down there. Okay, well, they... Unless I broke that block, then I think they must. Hard to tell because I messed that up in several different ways. Let's let's make this wider, how it was supposed to be. So the reason this works as a mob switch is if you keep the chunk loaded, the silverfish eat through the spawn cap. It's 70 per player. That's why this doesn't work for multiplayer before anybody asks. At least I couldn't get it to work. If somebody else can, by all means, please feel free to try it. I could not get it to work though for multiplayer. But for single player, if you get it, if you did it in spawn chunks or chunk loaded the thing, yeah, it works for that. Yeah, because they haven't gone into any of these blocks. And maybe I can. I know they can. They can. Yes. Right. I need to get some iron. So if you're actually making this as a mob switch, what you do is you create the thing, then you put you obviously can't spawn an iron golem there, but you build the iron golem shape at the top. Then you I need the infestation. Basically infest them and then keep them topped up with some iron ingots. But it's better to do this after making an iron farm. Let's also turn down our sound even more. Because they are super loud. Hopefully, eventually. Should start spawning. It doesn't seem to be spawning any. Oh, there's one. Oh, I may have built him one too low. But we can fix that by just digging the floor out. Yeah, 'cause I think he can hit them that distance. Oh, yeah, infested stone. So yeah, they still can infest. So we don't want to do that. Because that would be bad if we infested everywhere. Let's turn mob spawning back to false. Yeah, so we can't use that because they do infest the stone. And that would mean that most of this structure would disappear quite quickly if someone was to hit a block. So we don't want to do that because that would be bad. So yeah, baby rabbits might be the only way we can do it. because they've changed the big rabbit, haven't they? Yeah. But you can use the golden dandelion to keep the small rabbit. Right? Yeah, baby rabbits will work. We can do baby rabbits. I don't like rabbits. I feel like they should live in a zoo. So, and then we'll do baby rabbits. And then we'll have to... What's the range on a golden dandelion? I don't know. I was on a break. Let me have a look. What's the range for a golden dandelion? Golden dandelion Minecraft range? Okay, let's have a quick read of this. The golden dandelion is a craftable flower that can be... Oh, it's fed to them to pause their aging. I thought you pull it down and it, like, similar to like a beacon, it affected things within that thing. So we craft it and then we feed it to the animal and then it stops it from getting big. Gotcha. Why did I think it was a range? Was it originally intended to? Because like it was put in whilst I was gone, but I swear I remember reading about it and it was range based, but maybe I'm thinking of something else completely, and that is not the case. But yeah, I think baby rabbits will be the way forward for that. Shallon. Everyone, and I mean everyone, should totally check out 𝗕𝗔𝗫's Discord. Lots of great tips and tricks can be found there. He's also got some cool downloads. Yeah, I'm hoping to get more bits on there, as well as like some world download bits, because I'm aware that a lot of people really just want like the actual world, and it's one of those things of I was never sure the best way of having the a world organized that would make it easy for people to browse. That's always been my bits. I always wanted it like 𝗕𝗢𝗫𝗛𝗚 had one, and that's great. Like, because 𝗕𝗢𝗫's just a very organized person in general, and I am not. I'm very much a fly by the seat of my pants person. I do not tend to do a lot of planning or preparation or anything, which is 100% on me. We will put a little fat bit just there. So yeah, I feel like it would be kind of good to do like a world download. I think people would enjoy a world download of all the builds, but the thing is, I know I jump around a lot. This is what I mean. So like this world here. Oh, ignore these. These are Shallon's builds. I won't take ownership for these. After saying to Shallon yesterday, they're not that bad, dude. It's fine. There's some builds that, right, just so you know, there's some builds that I ripped out from Shallon's base in season 3, because I was like, bro, I think you could do better than this. But I took a light massacre of them first. So this is my original build world, but as you can see, it got messy quite quickly. Originally, I had it all organized like this. This was the idea. So there would be like the transport and the, artillery down here, airship related things up here. At some point, I do want to finish this. This was based off of the X-Wing and X-Men. I might do that as a stream soon, actually, because I need a reason to do it. I feel like that would be what I need to do. So this is not like my build worlds are pretty they're for me. I haven't done a build world that's like, oh, this is for other people to be able to get builds. Whereas like, because I've got like the entire Cyberpunk pack, which if you've seen the Cyberpunk video, is on there, and I've got I can't remember. There's like how many assets are in there? There's well over 100 assets within that Cyberpunk decor pack, and I have plans to do more. The issue is I don't have them all in a world, and people want an actual world of it. So at some point I need to like sit there, go through, like I don't have any of my season 2 builds. Yeah, I don't know, because I did some builds in season, sorry. I did a bunch of builds in season 2 that there is no, that there isn't like this endstone airship. That's never made it to anything other than here. Over at my base over here, these custom baobab trees that I did, never shared those with anyone. The same with, I did like these custom rock things and stuff, and these would make great blueprints for Axiom. I don't know why Stream Elements did that of Tam's player. I think apparently Stream Elements blocked somebody's message. It says, "Hello Enigma, love your Cyberpunk pack. Thank you, I appreciate that." Yeah, it was fun to do. I do plan on doing another one, like a follow-up to it. But yeah, doing like, because I've got a bunch of like custom tree things in here, like these. I can't remember what type of tree it is in the savannah. But I've got heaps of these assets that I made and then never did anything with. I have the cottage thing here, which was just thrown together, but it could just be made so people can access it. None of the houses in 𝗥𝗢𝗚𝗓 have ever been utilized for anything else ever. None of these little like ships, boats that I made never had any bits put in. Good night, Magic. Have a nice night. That big ship over there I did was never using anything. I do apologize for the lag. For some reason, season 2's mangrove swamp was really bad and just lags everything. The swamp shack, again, no download or anything for that. There's that, like a lot of the stuff that I've done, I've never put into just a single build world. And that'd be kind of cool. This ruined cathedral that I did, yeah, that never made it to anything. I think there might be some stuff on the spawn island. Yeah, there's the old ruined keep that never made it to anything. There's many things that I build, particularly on like in a season of Random Craft, that I build essentially on the fly, like the boats down there. This build here I did at Shallon's with the air dock and stuff. That never, like, so there's a couple of builds at Shallon's base. I don't remember which ones off the top of my head, except that one that I did. So yeah, it would be kind of nice to try and get everything put in one place. But that's a hell of a job. That's gonna take me. I mean, I mean, I've not made an episode in 2 years. I mean, come on, like, it's gonna take me forever. But yeah, trying to get some of these builds that I've done in season 2 over. There's tons of builds that I've done in season 3 that aren't. I don't think are even in a build world. The redstone shop is, I don't think the head shop or random times is, because I just built those on the server. The market, there isn't Roseworth's market. None of these are. I don't think any of these are. The bank isn't. Sin House is, like, none of this is featured in, like, I should do a build world at some point. I haven't even shared the 𝗘𝗤𝗘𝗏 airship actually on my Discord, which is the last airship I did, and let's be honest, that's how most people found me, is via airships. So I probably should at least share this on there at some point as well. So yeah, there's a lot of builds that need to make it over to a unified, like a unified build world. I just don't know. I don't know how to organize it. I do it. I make an organized build world, and then once I've done it, I'm like, yeah, this is crap. Every time, without fail, I'm like, God, I could do better than this. This isn't as good as it could be. What I need is 𝗘𝗢𝗚𝗏. Like, that's the one thing that 𝗘𝗢𝗚... Actually, I say that's one thing. I was about to say that's the one thing 𝗘𝗢𝗚's really good at. He's great at many things, but organization, I genuinely think 𝗘𝗢𝗚 is pretty much the best at, of anybody I've met. Like, of any content creator I know, 𝗘𝗢𝗚's organization skills are peak. And I wish he was around, because I'd just be like, 𝗘𝗢𝗚, help me organize a build world. Be a bro and help a brother out, because they like I tuned into one of his streams at one point, and he was sort of talking about his build world. But whenever I organize, yeah, it just all goes out the window. I just can't do it. It's not a part of anything I can do. What ceiling clutter can I put in? The bottom's looking grubby. The bottom's looking messy, which is what we want. But I feel like I was originally going to put stalactites. Yes, there's a way that I remember that, but it's not particularly a thing I can repeat on here. Because I could do that. I could put a little bit of that in. I know that kind of goes into here, but that's just, I don't need that there. Look, that's just under the ground. Like, that can be hidden. Can't do that everywhere, but there's definitely some bits I can do that in, so that's an option. Again, for anybody that's like looking at this and going, man, that's really bright in there, I have permanent night vision on. It is normally much darker in here. It's a very dark, dingy place. So although like some of the coloring, you're like, wow, that's like, it's built specifically for like the darkness. Yeah, so some places I can't do that type of ceiling cluttering. Can I hang dripstone? I hang dripstone off of that. I don't have to. I can absolutely use. I can. Oh, lovely. But I will actually probably use proper dripstone blocks. I did think at one point putting in some dried gas, because they kind of look a bit like a dead sort of thing. But I get worried that they'll not be dry. Again, these were added in whilst I was away on break, so I don't know the mechanics of them. So if you do know the mechanics of them, whether you know whether they'll be safe to put down here or not, do let me know, because I don't know. Because I do like the idea. It kind of looks, oh no, it has like this look like it would be in a sewer. Also, that noise is great. You know, I've said this before. I don't know if I said it on a stream. A lot of the later sounds that they did with, like, people talk about like, oh man, the happy gas is great. Oh man, the adding in the frog lights is great. And they love all those like block updates. Don't put them in the war and you're good. Yeah, see, what about rank? Because Sir Silver, I'm pretty sure, said that he did not put any in water, but I think he said that it was like he was convinced that they did it in the rain. It should be safe to put dried gas in there because to grow them, they have to be in water. Okay, so as long as I didn't, like, do something really dumb, like put it next to one of these pipes that puts water out intermittently, I should be all right. That's good to know. Thank you. I may find some places to put some of those in. How do they look if I'm guessing they have to be on a floor. Oh, no, they don't. Oh, they hang quite low. I was hoping there would like be like a player head where it has like 2 different bits. Thought it'd be kind of funny to stick it to the ceiling. Right, so but we can put some of this in. So if we go around here. They need 20 solid minutes to change. Oh, that's okay. Cool. Thank you. That's actually really helpful to know, because I guess one of the things I just some bits were obviously put in whilst I was away, and I'm not one of those people that analyzes. You know, I'm not like I do, like I said, I do things on the fly. My preparation is minimal. I really don't prep anything. Some Minecraft content creators, in fact, many Minecraft content creators create scripts, and they're these big, beautiful works of art that are like this. Like, they know everything they're going to say, where they're going to go, their camera angles, everything. Everything's right, like where their transitions are going to be. Everything's there sculpted on paper. Or digital paper. And I just genuinely, I have like a loose idea of what I want to do in my head, which is not the best place for it because I have short-term memory loss. And then I basically just hit record and be like, blah, 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 and then I close the recording, try and edit it the best I can and release it. So I don't tend to do a great amount of preparation. So I'm not too sure which of these pipes. Actually, this corner needs some McGlovin. What should I put there? Oh, do you know what might be good to put here? It might be good to put like a hobo stove, like a little fire thing in. One, it would give some light at the end of the tunnel. But also I kind of like the idea that somebody is living down here. Okay. Just something about somebody, like people living in the sewer, I think is a fun bit. I normally use player heads for seats. We normally use player heads for seats, so we'll probably do that, and then we'll get some kelp blocks for our bin bags, and we'll pile some trash up here. Maybe, yeah, maybe get mangrove and some diorite. Just make like a little what are those? Looks like they've made a little shimmy shelter down here. Need to put that in as a stair, wouldn't I? Thinking about it. Oh, so on off. Oh, so yeah. So it would reset whenever. So it's not like a progressive thing where it's like I've received this much and it lasts so many ticks to just reset once it stops. Hey, that makes sense. That does make sense. You know, one of the things that might be good here, in my one build world, I was doing like a destroyed. I was doing like a destroyed building. It was part of the. I'm just trying to remember where it even is. Up here. There. Although this is much bigger than what the space that I have inside there. My idea of this. So this is something that never happened. I say never happened. It hasn't happened yet. Was how to add a little bit more dynamic stuff to a cyberpunk / dieselpunk, but it was more geared towards cyberpunk city, because not all. The thing with cyberpunk is it's dystopian. That's what punk basically means. Is there's like an uprising, right? So builds, there should be some builds that have looked like they've been torn down, that they've been taken over by thugs and stuff, and that's basically what this is. Sort of like an old forgotten place. Nature started to reclaim it a little bit. But I was hoping that there was something that I'd put in here, but I don't think I actually did. I have the banners. That's about it. Some bins there. Yeah, I was hoping there was something I could glean from this for that little bit, but I don't think there is. Unfortunately. Yeah, anybody that was watching the stream last week, yeah, I've still not finished doing all of the horror, diagonal text. I do intend to. If I ever do a build world, you sure as shit they'll be in there. Okay, so there's nothing I can glean from that. So I'll probably just leave that as is. There will be some sort of seat somewhere around here, and I'll probably do some like player head stuff. There's no point in doing it on here. I'll just do that straight on the server once all of that's in. I don't want to add some more vinage to walls. How about some small sulfur cubes jumping around here and there? Feed them golden danders to keep them small. Yeah, that might be a good idea. Will they attack the rabbits, though? Because I do like the idea of putting the baby rabbits in as rats. But I don't know if they'll attack the... I don't know if they'll attack the rabbits. Obviously, I don't want to cause too much carnage in here. Or do I? Maybe I do. They're passive. All right, cool. Cool. Oh, hello. Are you under the floor, though? Yeah. I wish I could just do that instead of having to put blocks down first. Also, vines. These vines annoy me so much. I hate the fact you still have to put something under. I don't know why all of the other vines you can use the shears to trim and stop them from growing, but the old vines, they just didn't update, so you can't. Goddamn string. Don't want to have to use string on things. Is this 2013? Stop making me play like it's 2013, Moe. Get a grip. Like just being able to shear them to stop them like you can every other vine would be really nice. We'll put some more. We'll put some more dripstone-y stuff maybe in this one. Yeah. Oh, I keep getting rid of the things I need. Somewhere around there. So once we've got the sewer bit, we will eventually be working up here and getting up here done. There's a few things I'm not sure of. I'm not sure how what this brown stuff will eventually be. It's brown just because I know it needs to be dirty. This build is technically gone now. Like this, ignore this. This doesn't exist. Like this ain't here anymore. This security checkpoint, no, it's not there. All right, none of that's there. This is gone. It was originally there, and then I decided water wheel. But the water wheel will be connected to this. So this is the Ministry of Industry, which is basically just a factory. So it'll be connected to that. I might shift, because I think over here, yeah, I had water tower and a pump station and a heating plant. So I might knock that idea on its head, integrate that over here, where this now is, and then sort of integrate all of this into being those. And then that will become whatever was here. No, it won't, because that was the monk's house and the security checkpoint. This one could become a security checkpoint. This one here. But yeah, eventually we'll be up here working on builds. I was going to do that for this stream, but then I started making a sewer. So we're now making a sewer this stream, but we're still working on the upper district. You know, my stream isn't defunct. We're still doing the upper district. We're just doing the sewer part. And then once the sewer is more or less in, we'll start doing some builds up here. If the idea for up here is it's going to be a sort of gothic brutalist dieselpunk sort of vibe. We do have a limited space, so a lot of the builds are on the smaller scale. So similar to District 6, where we were at on Random Craft before. So we will figure that out. Probably on the next stream. Because the sewer isn't going to be like, oh, a multi thing. Right, okay. Happy Burn, can't wait for another Cyberpunk build. Yeah, I'm hoping to get some more Cyberpunk stuff done at some point soon. Right, so here we kind of have here we have this. Good amount of stuff there. Let's see what this is looking like if we clear the effects. Okay, that does. See how it just changes the vibe? Do soul campfires. They give off less light. I feel like that's a bit too bright down there. But maybe that's nice because it is kind of like you can't expect it to stay dingy and dark, and then also turn the corner and it's like something to focus on. Which is like the show don't tell principle or that Valve came up with. So maybe that's actually good. Gives a focal point, something for people to focus on and work towards. Yeah. We'll believe it. And then I've got to decide which of these is going to be water, essentially. And then we should be able, where is it? There. We should be able to hook a pipe up to this as well. Maybe on this one? Or maybe we could do one there and one here. We actually might be able to get away with doing 2. I think. I don't want to go back outside, so I'm just going to do effective here, I think. Okay. So we're going to put a pipe there and a pipe there, and we'll have these on alternating, like an alternating thing. So get some trap doors. One, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, we're really tight on space on that one. Okay. So the dispenser basically has to go on that block there for that. And then we're going to have to take this way as well. Oh, that's a tight fit in that little bit. But we'll make that work. That's fine. We need to put a dispenser here with a water bucket in it. And a dispenser over here with a water bucket in it. There. Or there. There. With another water bucket. Then we need to hook these up to basically this. So one feeds off of this side and then one will feed off of that side. Go out there. There we go. Is that I should be able to get connected up to that line. I'll just put that there and that there. Prevent that from triggering itself. Oh, I can't put that one there, can I? Oh no, I can. I can put that one there. This one will come from this side. There. And then we need to grab some redstone. Quite reach there, but it's fine. There we go. Should now be flowing out. Knock our leaves away. That's also fine. I need to remove those. And then this one will go through to here. And that way they should be slightly off timed because of the... Yes, they are. Because of the difference in repeaters, so we should get slightly different thing. It shouldn't just be like one's on, one's off, one's on, one's off. It should feel slightly staggered. Yeah, nice. Okay, cool. And then this one we're going to put some vines in. Not string for there, buttons for there. Not sure if we'll put anything on that bit. Yeah, we'll figure that out. See, I could have put more. I don't want to just have where the fatbergs come out of the large bit, though. I don't want them to just come out of the large pipe. Hey, with the Golem, how's it going, man? I hope you're having a nice day. I know you've had a long week, so I'm hoping your weekend is going smoother. Yeah, I feel like if we just had the sort of fatty builds up and out of just the large pipes, at the moment they are. So maybe another small pipe with back. I believe this one is. No, what I will do, we'll clog behind this one. We'll clog behind that one. Leave that bit open. We'll put a block there. Seal that off. We'll clog behind that like it's got caught up. And then further down, still doing the unpacking, the soft parts. Yeah, these are my fatbergs. It's very bright in here. I have night vision on. It's a lot darker without. Yeah, they're my chunky fatbergs blocking things. This one will open up so we can actually go in here because there's a lot of space back here. So I might put another Easter egg in on this one. In fact, because I am curious. What should the in the sewer? Because I've in the other one. So in the other one, I have it going through to essentially where are we at? Over here. So this one runs through, and it's going to go into like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles layer. I'm going to have Magic do armor stands, and when I say I'm going to make him do it. Some armor stand work in here will make all of this look like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles bit, but I'm not too sure what to do with the second one, because there's a ton of space back there. We absolutely can do something back here because we don't need these support pillars in any of these support pillars, so it's huge amount of space back here. So an Easter egg back there would be kind of fun to do. Obviously, I don't want it to be visible from the front though, so we'll just do this. But I do think pulling in something there would be good. For now, I'm just going to seal it up with those because I'm lazy. I'm a lazy boy. Penguin from Batman Returns. That's a fair point. That would actually be a pretty cool one. Like a little like Penguin's lair would actually be a cool one to put in. I could definitely see that being another cool little Easter egg. Also, Mojang, give us penguins in the game, damn it. That would be really nice. Alright, there we go. This one will have water coming out of it. Let's use lichen to prevent it from touching those. Oh. I must have messed something up. Oh, I waterlogged the stair, not the... Yeah, I do think it would be I have penguins with the naturalist mod. You can trade cod with them to get water-based loot. That's kind of cool. I think that's one of the things that I do like with Bedrock is those, because one of the things with Java Edition is people get a bee in their bonnet over vanilla. They're like, yeah, but that's not vanilla. But I don't feel like Bedrock tends to have that same issue, because the packs are curated, so it's just sort of like, yeah, well, it's still Bedrock. But it would be cool to do. I mean, Magic can make some armor stand penguins for sure. Yeah, well, I think that might be what we go with. I think we might do penguins layer back there. I'm gonna write that on a sign so I don't forget, because otherwise I 100% will. Put that there. Put that there. Beautiful. One thing that I know that I want to put down here, although technically they don't live in a sewer, they live under a lake. I do want to put, there's not that many people here that will probably get this as a reference point, probably. But I would like to put Old Greg in down here as another Easter egg somewhere, because it's one of my favorite episodes of Mighty Boosh. So I think putting a little Easter egg in somewhere down here, because Old Greg's like seaweedy, and I feel like if he wasn't in a lake, yeah, he would be hanging out probably in a sewer. We'll put another small pipe in here. Yes, we'll put another small pipe in here, and this one will be fatty. Picture he has his Bailey's part. The amount of times I have quoted Old Greg in things is high. Normally with Lag Monster, because although Lag Monster is American, he's watched a lot of UK shows, Mighty Boosh being one of them. And I'm gonna say, like, I've said this time and time again, my streams, my content isn't child friendly. It's not like I aim it, so this, I'm gonna state this here. The amount of times when me and Lag Monster have been in a channel and I've just been like, hey, you want to go to a party where people wee on each other? It is very high. And I think I got used to saying that to him as like a wind-up sort of thing, and then at some point I said it with a random in the chat, like in a VC with us, and they were very confused. That's not my fault. I can't be held responsible for the things that come out of my mouth. I know I'm an idiot. I was thinking here, if we got the those, might be able to make it look like it's actually pouring out. Oh no, because it randomly places, doesn't it? Nah, ruined. Well, some of us saw another side of Susan. Yeah. Yeah, there's there's a lot of Easter egg things in Random Craft that don't tend to make it into like an episode of Random Craft. And it's one of those things that I think if anybody here is like aware of some of the stuff that 𝗕𝗢𝗫𝗚 has made in the past, you kind of, if you know type of thing. That's what like the whole Sin House was a nod to a thing that 𝗕𝗢𝗫𝗚 had made, which I think I think he shared that within his world download. It's on 𝗥𝗚𝗬𝗠. Here, one moment. This is another old build world. I could show you a really old build world if you want me to blow your minds. So over, this is a thing of 𝗕𝗢𝗫𝗚𝗠 that he was doing. This build here, this wasn't done for random craft. I don't know. I think it was just for like a build thing he was doing just in general. And this is Lucy's bar. When you go inside it, it's like this sort of dingy-ish nightclub type of thing, and it has a stripper's pole and stuff. And then there's an upstairs with bedrooms. So when I was looking for doing like a nightclub, because the area that is now District 6 was originally essentially on like the border bit between me and 𝗕𝗢𝗫 and a little bit into 𝗕𝗢𝗫's, I wanted to do something that was like a nod to something of his that I really like. And that's what the Sin House was. It was me sort of paying homage to this. Because like 𝗕𝗢𝗫𝗛 had done this this is an old build. I mean, 𝗥𝗚𝗬𝗠, this would have been mid-season 1, so this is like 4 or 5 years old. So when I was like, oh well, I want to do a thing, I'll bring it up to date, you know. I'm pretty good with like detailing like bars and stuff like that, so I was able to do like a much bigger, more impressive bar area and nicer chairs and all the rest of that. But I wanted it to be like as a homage bit to him. This is where I originally built the 𝗥𝗢𝗫𝗚𝗏 airship. In fact, you can see the stages of me designing the 𝗥𝗢𝗫𝗏𝗏 airship over here. Of me figuring out what the shapes and sizes and scalings were going to be like. Figuring out how I was going to attach it all. Build worlds are always fun to come back and look at. And a sheep. Yeah, I can't remember why he put sheep in there. There was a reason. Again, probably couldn't say that on a thing, but maybe another member exclusive video where I go in depth with that. Because I have done a member only video where I do a proper tour around the Sin House. I plan on doing more member only videos, including showing how I edit, and some things on like not becoming burnt out with building and loads of other little bits and pieces. This is a build I need to finish at some point as well. This was this was another thing that I started and never finished. I'm good at that. I'm really good at that. These aren't all my builds. Obviously, we're over at one of 𝗕𝗢𝗫𝗚's builds over there. Some of these are mine. Some of them are NIMS. The castle there is lag monsters. Some of these are magics. And stuff. So yeah, this isn't just my build world. This was like a build world for the randoms at one point. But yeah, that's why the Sin House it looks the way it does, because I wanted to capture a thing of 𝗕𝗢𝗫𝗚's that I really liked, and then work from that. You could well to see how you've been building. Yeah, it's I've got a lot of build worlds. I think actually you really like the 𝗖𝗛𝗘𝗏𝗏 airship, the Dieselpunky one. That is on here. Let's go. There you go. This was me figuring out and doing all the preparation things for the 𝗖𝗛𝗏𝗏𝗏 airship. Figuring out the lengths and shaping, and then down here like the engines, battery bits, which I don't know if I actually did in the end. have to check. How to do the rust thing. Ah, yeah, that helps with the stairs. Okay. I can use granite. Yeah, all the different color gradients that I came up with, how the arms, the claw arms would work for the ships. Because, like, as the ships come into dock, they needed to sort of be docked onto these, like, arms and stuff. So, like, it was basically me. Oh, I do have those little battery things here. I think I only used the smaller one, though, by the look of it. Yeah. So, yeah, that's basically why I tend to plot most things out in wool. And figure out the dimensions and how the shapes interact, and then go from there. But the 𝗕𝗤𝗘𝗖𝗓𝗏's my favorite because it's just more modern. Although I do love the Man of War. A couple of people have asked me to do a tutorial for this Man of War. Absolutely not. Never happening. That's never ever happening. Not because I hate you, but because I genuinely don't think I could do this in a tutorial unless I really figure out how to alter the way I do tutorials. It's so complex. There's so much little detail-y bits. What I might do instead is do a tutorial that breaks down things like how to make a ship hull, how to make a balloon, how to do sails that billow and things. Might be better. And then all my transport stuff. So there's lots and lots of bits. Over here's the jelly cat that I made for Good Times with Scar, which is cat jelly, but as an AT-AT. Did I do the interior on the... No, I think I only did the interior on the actual server itself. I think I also had the tail, like, coming out. Because like, I sort of threw the tail on here when I initially built it. But cats very rarely have their tail down when they're walking. Which, by the way, doing this to make it actually like it was walking, I think I did the same with the back leg on the alternate side. That is a lot. That was a pain. But it was for Scar, so, you know, we put effort in. But yeah, that's the 𝗕𝗤𝗘𝗏 airship, all the preparation for it. You can see, and there's just this one little box area. That's essentially how I build, as I do sort of figure things out in wool first. I think up here you can see the same on the... Yeah. I like it, just getting all the shapes in so I can see how everything is. This was going to be the original color scheme for the town hall for Random Crash Season 3. And then we went to split the difference. And then I think we ended up going with this one instead. If I remember correctly. Pretty sure that's the one that was actually gone with in the end. Yeah, lots and lots of little build bits and pieces. But yeah, the 𝗕𝗤𝗘𝗏 airship, airships in general I enjoy doing, but making tutorials for them is tough. Like properly tricky to do, because making them as multiple episode things would be the best way. More than likely, in honesty, probably would be the best way forwards to do that. I did the one. I did the 𝗥𝗙𝗘𝗏𝗏, and one of the things I learned a lot from doing that tutorial. I'll say that. I learned a lot from doing that tutorial. I learned what not to do. More than anything else. Because I did cut some corners. Because originally that video was... I'd recorded it once, and then lost most of the footage, and then really quickly, because I'd promised to someone it would be out on a certain day, I then pushed really hard and re-recorded and like burnt myself out massively to get it done for that thing. So I'd like stuck some things together that didn't make quite enough sense. And then when I was editing it, I realized that with shaders on, parts looked too dark, but I just didn't have it in me to record it, because it's like, that video's near as damn it, I think 2 hours long. That's edited. Pre-edited, it was like 14 hours. Because like I said, I'm not good at writing scripts. I don't tend to write a script. I do a beat sheet. I have short-term memory loss. I forget. The amount of times in like an actual recording, I forget what it is I'm saying, and I have to tell myself off. So, yeah, I'm very much not good at it. So doing that, I'd made some mistakes, and I sort of shortcutted a few things here and there without really realizing that's what I was doing. Kind of messed up, and you know, people will let you know, and that's fine. I'm not complaining about that. Absolutely, and I 100%. If somebody ever complains about something in a video, own up to it. Just accept that you made that mistake. Just trying to defend it, which I've fortunately never done, but I have seen other YouTubers attempt to try and defend a mistake that they've made. Don't bother. It makes you like an asshole for one. But more than that, it doesn't help. Like, you're better just being like, yeah, I messed up. Like, I know I messed up on that. I knew I'd messed up on that. I knew the moment I was editing it that I'd made some mistakes. I just wasn't sure. When you're editing something, you've done it. You're not sure whether you can see it because you know it's there. So you're like actively looking for it, or whether it's just evident, like whether anybody will notice it. And I should have used my judgment and been like, oh, okay, look, I'm just gonna wait, take a break, and I'll get this out in like a month and just cancel that. But instead, I pushed it out. And it still works. Loads of people have built it and things, but there are some people that don't like that tutorial, and that's fine. You'll never please anybody anyway. But a lot of complaints that people have made on there are absolutely valid. They're absolutely valid complaints. I did make some mistakes. So I never wanted to do one again. Not because people complain, but like this is hard to do. Like it's one of those things where when you're doing the recording for something, a lot of it is a lot longer before the edit, a lot longer. And I'm pretty egregious with my edit. Like I like, if it doesn't serve what I'm doing, I'll cut out sections that took me hours. It's like, well, that doesn't help anybody, like, seeing this. Like, this isn't useful at all for anybody. And I'll just chop it out. Just remove it. But there's a lot of times where you make the smallest mistake within like an edit. Some edits that I've done have got mistakes in, and people think they're on purpose, and it's part of the overall vibe of an episode. There's an episode of Random Craft Season 1, back before I was getting slightly more views on things. And my PC had broke, my graphics card had broke. And it was causing these really weird artifacts in game. Like for example, this moss block. mossy cobble, like this corner would like spike out and be like over here, and like certain bits would be slightly see-through, and it went really nuts. And I knew that was gonna like essentially there was no way I could continue recording with it like that. But I realized that I could at least work with it to get the episode out. So I had it where I was hallucinating in game. And like losing my mind, essentially. So I kind of had it where it was almost like there was the fragments of reality were shattering around me. And that's why I used my damaged PC as part of the narrative, just on the fly. Because it was the only thing I could think of doing. Alright, so we have one clog with fat. This one, maybe we'll put this one on a timer, like those other ones. That's what we'll do with this one. Means I can't go too far back, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's literally as far back as I could go. Where's that other timer? It's the other side, isn't it? Yeah. Can't really go under. Can I go over? No. Alright, I guess I've got to make another hopper clock. That's fine. Not even angry about it. Just need to grab the blocks. It was over here on this one, right? Let's try and get this slightly further towards a corner. In case I want to do any others. Get it here. Oh, I forgot about crack farts. I'm just a cute little fox. I'm gonna eat your stomach. That was... Oh, loads of people for Mighty Boosh often think of Noel Fielding, but Julian Barrett was the absolute star of that. Guy's nuts. Also, his vocal range in things like the song for Old Greg is really, really impressive. One of the on the topic of Mighty Boosh, it was one of the first cover songs that one of my early bands did, was a cover of Nanageddon. It was fun. Redstone dust is what I need. Again, if I sound weird, I do apologize. I have a load of Fisherman's Friend mints because I have a sore throat. I have a bit of a head cold, but I was not going to cancel the stream. I feel like this should be on a relatively long timer. So we'll do that. That should have its top bars. Oh, helps if I put that up. And put water in there. 1 and to... Can't see down there, can we? We cannot. Need crimping. No crimping. I don't think I could crimp. We keep that. That's a private thing between us. That's not for the public. Okay, that's now on a timer. So just instantly. I might do a little bit of back blockage up there. And it makes sense why it would be not pumping out on that side. Nothing extreme, just a little bit of... I don't think that... too much. Right. Perfect. Now that's going to be intermittently opening and closing. What about if when the water comes out, have another drop that drops cocoa seeds into the stream? I'd have to make a little like some sort of automated cocoa farm, or eventually I'm going to run out of cocoa seeds. Although one of the things that eventually will, so that these buildings up here are going to have like flushable toilets, and I will be connecting those up. So like technically if you were to throw some cocoa seeds out up there, it would eventually work its way down to here. I could cycle it though, actually. If I had it going into a hopper here, I could then cycle it back around. And then that would create a proper system for it. These ones are the ones that are hooked up. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, that I might have to do that. But I'll probably use buttons for poop. I've been using buttons for the poo in here, so where the hell am I? It's this one I'm on. I'm getting confused. It's labyrinth-esque in here, alright? It confuses me. I'm very easily confused, and it confuses me. Leave me alone. Alright, let's get some of this stuff in. One of the things I have forgotten to do in a few places is cracked bricks. That might be something to do at some point as well. Right, okay, so come down. That needs some buttons on there. Not that it really prevents it from growing. Look, just grows so virulent. We also need string for underneath that one. I do hate that. If I could change one thing, like in 5 minutes, that would be the thing I would change. I hate the fact that vines do that, where you have to, you know, put the string underneath. I wish you could just shear them like every other type of vine. That's all of the newer vines that you can just shear. That's so annoying. All right, so let's stand here and look down there. Still looks clean. That's because I don't have any blockages midway or anything. We'll probably on this. Trap doors. What if you want to throw silver or lag in the toilet? Would he end up down there? Yeah, that's the idea, is that like that's how you can get down here. I've turned off vine growth in my world for that reason. Yeah, it's one of those things that like I get it. I get that vines grow, but I do hate the fact that all of the other vines in the game you can shear now, but you can't do it to the original ones. It's such an oversight to me. Like, I just don't know why they didn't do that. I'd have really liked to have seen that be a thing. Okay, so let's yeah, because it will connect. Move that. And then some slabs. Yeah. There we go. Gonna film a little whilst I have a chance. If you're still on in a bit, I'll jump back on. I will chat later. Have an amazing stream. Yeah, it's a little bit of an as I say, an impromptu stream. It isn't an impromptu stream, but it's been a hell of a couple of days, to be honest. So it's not quite what I want, but it's, you know, it's good enough. Enjoy recording, Squire. All right, that's pretty good there. That's starting to look messy. Putting a bicycle down here would be kind of fun to do. I think at some point. I think that'd be kind of cool to do, like some sort of like old machinery type thing. Because it's one of those things that you never okay. So I've been looking at a lot of sewers for obviously doing this, and like you'll be amazed at the stuff that ends up in a sewer. Like, some of it's nuts. Like, really weird things. Like, how does a TV end up in a sewer? You know, like, how does that happen? What occurred? Like, I get a shoe. Like, storm drains and stuff like that connect up to them. Like, you know, like on the sides of roads and stuff. Like, shoe falls in there, it makes its way to the sewer. I get that. How the hell is a bicycle or a TV ending up in there? Like, I don't understand how that happens. Like, how are these massive things ending up in sewers? Actually, that'd be the weirdest things. Okay. The weirdest things found in sewers: a live sheep and a cow, alligators, pulsating blob clusters, colonies of tuberfix worms and pyrosians. Half a car was extracted from a London sewer system. How is that? How are you getting half a car into a sewer? When does that happen? Where's the other half? For a start, where's the other half of the car? Like, where is that gone? A full Christmas tree. I like to imagine that was just one guy that was just really fed up with Christmas. It was just like, the whole thing's going down the fucking toilet, the entire thing. I'm sick of this place. I'm sick of Christmas. Christmas is cancelled. I'm shoving the Christmas tree down the goddamn toilet. I genuinely don't understand how somebody, because I was like looking, I was like, how? A full garden shed. Just how? How does that happen? How do you get a garden shed down into a sewer? And why, how is it still full? Like, you'd think, like, the only thing I can think is that some of these are like in the US, like the, you know, like those big American storm drains, you know, like you see in like Terminator 2. Because what you need a Christmas tree full of ornaments. A really poopy Christmas tree. I just, it's honestly, it's a wild thing. Motorbike. A really common thing is cash. Apparently. But the most common things is obviously coagulated fat, sanitary products, and things like that. That's like the most common things that you get down, that sort of ends down there. So like, that's why I've got like the fatbergs and stuff, because I feel like that's like the most common. I was saying earlier that the largest fatberg, which is what they get referred to as, the largest fatberg was 130 tons, and it was 820 feet or 250 meters long. That's a big, I mean, that's huge. So I'm not, although it seems like I'm going quite extreme with this, I'm really not. Like, I'm genuinely trying to make it accurate to what a sewer would be like. I don't know anybody that works in a sewer to really guarantee that I'm nailing it, but that's essentially what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get it like, as a close representation of what's going on. Ah, yeah, fatberg's not Lard Mountains. Lard Mountain would be my wrestling name. Right, so let's put. I'm gonna need a wrestling theme tune for that one. But I do feel like on first look at this, somebody might be like, that's quite an extreme amount of fat, but it really isn't. It's actually a very minimal amount of fat for a sewer, which is genuinely absolutely gross, to be honest. But you know that. You know, that's what the world's like. What do you want me to do? Sugarcoat stuff for you? I'm going to sugarcoat stuff for you. That's what it's like. You just have to get over it. Stop pouring fat down your goddamn sink. Goddamn animal. Right, so this is the... Yeah, that's the thing. That's why it's in this over here. Somewhere. Nobody that watches me flushes pours fat down the sink, I hope. I'm hoping everybody is responsible with that stuff. See, being from the UK, I think I'm a little bit more responsible with that than I think probably a lot of Americans are, because of where most parents, I feel like in the UK, are aware that a lot of the sewer system's like archaic. Like, I say archaic, they're like old, like Victorian things, and they're narrow. But the amount of times man would be like, yeah, make sure no scraps get down the sink because it will back up the entire road. So I'm very conscientious with it. I need some more vine. I've put stuff in to prevent it from growing. Or I don't don't want it, which it already has. And I have to put some there and there, right, as well. I might have to see whether the randoms would be okay with turning vine spread off at some point. Not for this, just in general. Because I actually do think that's like a way forwards. If you could shear them, it wouldn't be a problem, but until you can, I just feel like it's an annoying thing. Obviously need a bit of personal hygiene products next to the used toilet paper, crap, and the occasional pet goldfish. And you know, putting some fish in here might be a good shout, actually, because they'll be sealed, so I can like be very selective over which ones they're in. And then, yeah, one of the things for doing like the used sanitary product is essentially to use like let's see here, pull that in. Bone meal works really well for it. I won't be doing it on here because this isn't like on the actual server, and it'll just make building it on there a pain. But like putting in invisible armor stands, invisible item frames, and then using bits that make it look this like scrunched paper and stuff. There's a few other things that work really well for it. I could try and make the Here Comes the Enigma track, but just like a cacophony of fart noises. That'd be kind of funny to do. I don't know whether I'd be able to pull that off. I mean, within like a VST environment, not literally. I definitely couldn't pull that off literally. Right. That's all. But I do think that'd be kind of. Because I have the Here Comes the Enigma track, but lots and lots of different things, as Shalon is aware. No, I don't. Many other people probably aren't aware that a bunch of the music that I have inside episodes and stuff is music that I've done. And like actually, give me a second. Let's go over to the random craft world a second. I can show you a couple of little bits. But also, I don't think I've ever been seen in things. Before we do that, we need to turn off our BGM, our background music on here. And then in game, we need to go into our music and sounds and turn our volume back up. And then in here. Okay, we already got pretty good. So over in 𝗥𝗙𝗄𝗏, which is the Japanese area, there is this guy here, and if I just give myself time in a second, it will destroy that later, and throw that in there, he will play music for you. But one of the tracks he will play is the Here Comes the Enigma song played on shamisen. And then over here, I've got to redo these because they did have armor stands, but they got broke. We've got the like a retro 16-bit or 8-bit. I think it's 8-bit. Yeah, sort of a arcade music version of the Here Comes the Enigma song. bit to make all of this work is down here. Take that out of there. Yeah. There is a spot where these diamonds go. So this never gets shown, I don't think, on for anybody's thing. Just there we go. There's the 𝗥𝗔𝗡𝗗𝗏. It's just done as a little bit of thing that I find fun. So I had Magic help me, and we did this animated busker. If you throw a diamond into his basket, he plays you some music. So I think doing that type of stuff in the sewer would also be kind of fun, I think. I'm not too sure where stuff like that would end up being put, but something along those lines down here to add a bit more sound dynamics into the sewer would be fun. So we'll definitely look at that at some point. I think that would be kind of fun. Okay, we're now over halfway through getting this stuff done in the sewer. And then that one side will become Penguin's lair, this bit over here. And then this one over, oh my god, I get so lost in here so quickly. Okay. This one here is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one that we'll also have completed at some point. And then we'll put baby rabbits down here for rats. I still wish I could use silverfish, but baby rabbits will work perfectly fine. And then we'll hook up the toilet so you can actually have the the flushing toilet and stuff like that as well. That's also going to be a pretty good thing to do. Yeah, definitely do that. So we now have this run, which is the next long run, and then this run, which we kind of have, like, I say half. We've gone around the corner for it. You can make small areas with blocks that can't be infested to contain the silverfish and hope that nobody lets them out. Yeah, one of the golden rules with random craft is, like, you have to idiot proof and then idiot proof the idiot proofing, because randoms as a whole, myself included, not an attack on anyone, myself included, we will find a way of breaking stuff. It's sort of it's an innate skill that I feel we all have. So I think I'm just gonna err on the side of caution. Just not do it, because many of these blocks can be infested, but obviously also, yeah, the entirety, I say the entirety, a lot of this could be infested as well. And I don't want to have to do all of this again. As I said earlier, I know I showed how to do the rusting effects and stuff. I'm going to eventually do the rest of that on this build as well. I only have it done on there. There's where the most is. The rest won't be as rusted, but it will have that corrosion and stuff on there. What I want to do, though, before we start closing up, I want to remove the effects off of me. And I want to actually look at how we're looking without the night vision. I believe the rule was introduced in season 1 with the water bucket incident. Yep, water bucket incident was definitely like one of the bits of, like, these people can break anything. Yeah, that was definitely one of the key things. I gave up. 1, I'm far too knackered, and 2, I didn't want to miss make stream. Welcome back, Colin. Yeah, this, I see, when you don't have the night vision, it's like dark and dingy in here. Very much feels icky. That lighting really helps. That's going to be a point of interest. We're going to have a hobo living down here in there. And we've got this run done. And that run we still have. So we're actually nearly all the way around. It is, yeah. I'm gonna put my shaders on as well, because that adds a bunch of like the dingy ambience in. So I try and make sure I don't build too much with shaders on. I just tend to toggle them now and then to ensure that it still is looking good with the shaders on. Small manholes, just like a tiny bit of light through. I could do some tiny little manhole cover things. The only thing with that is the top is very tight. But there is a couple of bits where it does run under a path / road, so I might be able to get away with that in a couple of places. Yeah. It's certainly got the sewery vibe. There will be as I said before, there will be like pipe work on the walls as well in a few places, like using the lightning rods, because I think that will help a lot with bits here and there. So there'll be bits like that. Are you using the sulfur to make steam? I'm actually not. I've got them out here at the bottom bit. The one thing with the salt is it's very extreme. But putting it on a timer, actually you don't even need a timer if you use magma, right? And having like a couple of bits where I just wish it could go out sideways, because it'd be cool to have like a pipe where it was like and then push the steam out from the side instead of just vertically. But I feel like that's just me being a prick at that point, because like that's a lot of work that Mojang put in with those things, and I'm like, you know, they go up. Oh, you can make them go sideways? Oh, if you can make them go sideways, then hell yeah. Lichen in the ceiling could be the blobs of those glowy worms. That's also a solid idea. Yeah, I was one of the things I was looking at was a brain coral. I think it was brain coral. Let me just type in coral. Let me spell coral right and then type in coral. No, bubble coral. Because there's these like really vivid clusters of worms that appear in sewers, and they're absolutely gross. It looks like an alien life form. I thought doing something like that, but then I thought if I use that, it's just going to look like coral. Like some stuff like the leaf things, when it's in here and you've got the vibe, you suspend disbelief and you start seeing it as what I'm intending, which is like staining and stuff. But I feel like the coral just wouldn't quite work for it. I think it would just look too much like coral. So if you do it going up as normal, of a block where it would go off, the trapdoor on the side, the mist diesel comes out sideways. I will definitely look at that at some point, because I that would be kind of cool to have like a little bit of a pipe with some steaminess coming out. I think that'd be a lot of fun to do. I could see that being beneficial. All right, let's yeah, let's yeah, I do often need a lot of explanations given to me because I'm very slow. So I was open to a longer stream today. I'm streaming slightly earlier for that reason, but I've often found that about 2 to 3 hours is about my cutoff. And I would go for longer and push through that and just take a little break, make myself a nice drink, and come back. A little 5-minute thing. But, as I said before, I, at this moment in time, have a bit of a head cold. So I don't want to push my throat too much at all. I'm going to do I've got a few plans. I'm actually going to do a poll. Whilst you're here, no, I'm not going to start the poll now, but I'm going to let you all know what is going on inside this box of mine. I had 2 ideas for 2 new series that are single player focused. One is to do, so some years ago now I did a thing, I was supposed to finish it, but it was around the time my PC did break, called 100 Days of Death, which was me just playing through 100 days of Minecraft. But I really like the idea of doing 100 days in key eras of Minecraft, starting in beta, and then just updating that world and doing another 100 days. And doing each episode as that 100 days. So it'd be like 8 or 9 episodes long as like a little series. So that's one of the things that I intend to do. Another one is one of the things that I put together a while ago and never got around to doing was a thing called No Harm Done. And the idea is that it was supposed to be a playthrough of Minecraft, but it had to be completely pacifist. So I'm not allowed to kill anything and try and get things done in that regard. So there's those 2 things as a series. These aren't tutorials. I have some ideas for tutorial series, but I don't do polls for those because I just decide myself. And then the third one, which somebody mentioned earlier, is to do a create mod series. So I'm going to do a poll to see. I'm eventually going to do all of them, but I want something to focus on other than random craft. I'm still going to be doing random craft and the Horizons thing with the islands and stuff, but it'd be nice to do something that's just a shorter single player focused driven thing that I can just take a little bit more time with and get the edits nice on. So they're the 3 bits. So I'm going to do a poll on which of those people would like to see most, whether that's 100 days progressive, like just going through the timeline of Minecraft, because there's loads of stuff in the early versions of Minecraft that you could not do like that we can now, like crouching, sprinting. There was no hunger bar back in the day. There was only like 40 blocks or 60 blocks to play with. So like just trying to go through and play 100 days in each and see how that evolves over that course of sort of 8 or 9 episodes, I think would be kind of fun. That's a nice short one. And then No Harm Done, which is like a pacifist challenge. That might be good as a stream. I could maybe do all of them if I just did one and set as a stream. But I'll ask people on my Discord and on the YouTube community posts. I'm planning on doing another Cyberpunk pack, but that I have to build that stuff first, so that don't expect that anytime within the future. That's a very much a crystal ball thing. 100 Days in Bedrock, pop in and see me. Bedrock's one of those things that I have, and I have been on it a couple of times, but it feels very alien to me to be on Bedrock. I'm aware that it's a lot more performative than Java Edition. But yeah, I think doing one of those series, a lot of people always want to see create mod from me. Like, I've had a lot of people over the past 3 years say, yo, get yourself on create mod with your airships and your trains and your, you know, monorail stuff and things. So, and I was told earlier on that they added a load of cardboard stuff in, so I feel like that's essentially like a call to arms at that point. So I do think that might be something to do. I visit Bedrock purely for the capes. See, and there's a few people that do that are like, that go to Bedrock specifically because they want to get capes and they, you know, do all the stuff. I genuinely don't give a shit about capes. I don't care about them. Like, I personally know a bunch of Minecrafters that really do. They're like, I need this cape. I don't have it yet. The only cape I don't have is this. I don't care. I don't care about capes. It's just one of those things that I've never been like, man, I really wish I had a cape. So I understand people the appeal. It's nothing against anybody that does cape hunt. Fine with people going and searching for capes. I've just never yeah, I've never been like, oh yeah, I think because I was playing for so long before capes were added. It's just like it wasn't one of the things where I was like, man, if I had a cape, my life would be different. I'd become more organized. I would start making content properly and regularly. I would stop swearing in streams, so other content creators would actually want to work with me instead of being like, oh, he's a loose cannon. If only I had the cape. But it's one of those things I was just now. Yeah, so I've never even gone onto Bedrock for those. I think I went onto Bedrock. When was that? Wasn't the last mob? I know they've stopped doing the mob votes now, but one of the mob votes, after they had like that whole issue with, I think, like Dream trying to like sway it, they had it where you had to log in on Bedrock, onto a Bedrock server, and cast your vote on there, like an official like vote cast thing. And I did that. Trust me, that doesn't come with the case. No, I don't think it does. I don't think organization or anything like that will come with a cape. If anything, that will make me behave more flamboyantly. If nothing else, I think that would actually make me go further the other direction. But yeah, they're the ideas that I have for a bunch of content. I know that a lot of people are always wanting more airship tutorials. At some point in the future, I may do more airship tutorials. I know, like, if I really cared about making money on my YouTube, that's what I would just do. I wouldn't be doing things like this stream or anything, because like that doesn't really. I earn a little bit, but you know, I earn most of my money really from just the couple of like the cyberpunk video, the airship video. They're the things that get a lot of views, that actually pulls in like ad revenue and stuff. I enjoy doing Let's Plays, so I'm not gonna just hitch myself to just doing tutorials. So I'm not really in it for the money side. I'm in it for the enjoyment, and that's my primary focus. But I will eventually try and do another airship tutorial for those who constantly nag at me. Oh my lord, the amount of times I get that. Hopefully you've all had fun today. We got a bunch of the sewer done. It's certainly given me a lot of ideas. The baby rabbits, the glow light on the ceiling, the timed sewer outlets, the penguin layer, just to name a few, and I know there's a ton more. The little encampment. So it's really helpful to have these types of streams, because as good as a builder, Crackfox, as good as a builder may be, and I wouldn't even necessarily put myself in that category. I know that lots of people have, I've had lots of people tell me that I am, but I maintain that sort of like building's not that complicated. You just need it to be broken down in a way that you understand it. But although builders can be good, there's nothing as good as like that hive mind of when you're streaming and other people coming up with ideas. And like throwing in like an idea here or there, and I'm always open to ideas. If you have any ideas further for the sewer, for the main town bit of that upper district, for anything that you think would be good to add around it, anything related to what you've seen, you can share photos, images, ideas on my Discord. I do look at the Discord a lot. I'm trying to be more active with the Discord and the community as a whole, because my default mode is to kind of be like a hermit and not really engage a ton, because I'm normally really focused on the build side. And then I'll try and implement a bunch, and then I'm going to try and do another stream next Saturday. So any ideas that you do give me between now and then may be implemented on the next stream. I don't know whether they absolutely will. It depends entirely on how sidetracked I get, because as you've seen today, I do get sidetracked quite a lot. I'm going to work on that. The main reason that I was sidetracked a lot today is because I am quite tired. So my filter is even more worn off than usual. I have a toddler, and she decides at times she doesn't want to go to sleep. So I knew that I was going to be streaming. I promised people they would be between midday and 1 to make it EU friendly, as there are people that watch in other countries. And then my toddler decided she wasn't going to go to bed till 8 a.m. So I didn't go to bed till like 7:30, 7:45. And then I had to be back up for 10:30, so I could get something to eat and prepare and stuff for doing the stream. So it's been a bit of a wild one, but I didn't cancel. I didn't cancel the stream. I didn't shift it. I didn't suck out of it or anything like that. I stuck to it, and I stuck to it because I have a history of being like, I'm going to do this, and then I don't do it because something in life comes up. So I'm making sure that I don't do that going forwards. So yeah, I'm endeavoring to ensure that I get all those things done. Normally I would go to the offline screen, but I haven't reset it back up, so I'm going to go to the be right back screen. The overtired dollars, yes. I'm going to go to the be right back screen. Enjoy the outro music. I love this particular song that's about to play. I hope you all had fun. I had fun. I will be doing another stream next Saturday. We will do more in the sewers, more in the upper district if we get the sewers finished. I'll be working on it between now and then anyway, so that might be done by then, but we'll see. And I will see you all next time. I hope you all had fun. I will catch you all later. Bye-bye.
Glory march the boxheads ride, under 𝗕niGMA steel command, with cardboard crowns upon our eyes. We fight as one across the land. Glory to the boxhead state. We serve the box, we seal our fate. One voice, one will, one mighty plan. All hail the 𝗕niGMAman. Drums of war and brass proclaim his wisdom, fire, and silent name. No tyrant stands, no traitor flees. We crush dissent beneath our knees. Glory to the boxhead state. March in line and carry weight. One fist, one truth, one cardboard brand.